Hi everyone, I'm Jules from Find the Gap, and today we are in video 2 of our series of 6 on problem solving. And it's all about how problem solving increases our ability to think outside the box and therefore our creative thinking skills. When we talk about thinking in mathematics, everyone goes, well, there's only one way to do maths. But when you've been in a classroom for a long period of time, kids teach you things all the time. And it's actually really exciting when someone in that class goes, oh, but I did it a different way. And you actually get them up and they can show other people, and other people can learn from that. We've stopped celebrating that difference and that creative thinking sometimes because that's not what the textbook says. But that's the beauty of problem solving. There's a whole bunch of strategies to draw on, and you can pick whichever one, and it will lead you down a different path. But as long as we get somewhere near the solution and we can assess whether that solution's right or not, we can actually celebrate how they did that work. So these novel solutions actually require individuals to think outside the box. It lets them bring their own creative flair. Maybe they've got a tendency to always act it out. Other kids won't go anywhere near acting it out, and that's okay. Maybe they want to have a list or a table and they're very organized in their thoughts. Awesome. That's what works for them. Problem solving allows kids to experiment with what actually works for them. When we get kids to come up and we get people to share their different perspectives, we're actually building some respect around having alternative ways of working. And therefore, we can learn alternative perspectives through our problem solving, which again build our skills in creative thinking. Approaches can actually lead students to have new ideas or explore new ways of doing things. And suddenly they go from a rigid one way only to doing things to now being more flexible and being able to adapt so that if that problem changes slightly, they now have the skills and the adaptability to make that adjustment in themselves. And that's really important. I think that's also something that we need to develop and they need to have more confidence in, because this question's not the same as that question, so therefore I don't know how to do it. That's having very rigid approaches and maybe only ever having one way to solve a problem. If we can start bringing in these alternative perspectives and start building in some flexibility, then that doesn't become such a problem because they're actually starting to see things from a different perspective and then go, oh, that problem, yeah, it structurally is very similar to that one we did the other day. And let me look back and see how I did that to get started on this problem. And all of a sudden, that's a very different child working in front of you to the child that's checked out and gone, nah, that's different. I can't do it. And as parents, you're probably sitting there going, that doesn't happen. It happens all the time. Okay. This is what a maths classroom is like. It's like a battle sometimes of you can or you can't. And actually, most of your job is around building confidence and actually strategies and skills far more than it ever is about content. So again, it comes into this, maths is more than numbers. Actually, the numbers are just very beginning of this. The rest is dealing with all of the beliefs and the judgments to themselves and the negative self-talk and, the history of failure or the fear of future failure or whatever is playing out for them. And problem solving is how you move them through this. In amongst all of this is that they need to take a risk. They need to put themselves out there just a little bit. They don't have to have the whole class see them, but they have to actually put on paper something that's maybe wrong and be okay with that. So we're starting to build that tolerance of being wrong. We're starting to build that tolerance of this is scary to put my thoughts down on a piece of paper. And we're starting to get them to experiment with these new ideas when there's no pressure. You don't pull this stuff out and go, oh, we're assessing you today. This is just through games or activities, things that actually can let them get involved and throw themselves in there with no consequence to them. It doesn't matter. It's just learning and starting to take that pressure off. Problem solving is a magical way to do that. And these skills that you're building up, these novel solutions, these alternative perspectives, what English teacher doesn't want to see a child reading a novel and going, oh, I can step into an alternative perspective and come up with a novel solution for how the characters should move forward next. These are fundamental skills that we take forward. When they get into a workforce, what employer is not going to love than going, oh, hang on, have you tried this? So thank you for joining me today. Problem solving is one of my favorite topics, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the rest of the series. Have a great day.